Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, everybody. My name is LeAsia Leach-Thompson. I am a BCBA, I'm a life coach, and I'm also a Zumba instructor, so check me out. I'm married with 2 kids as well, so I have a lot on my plate. I graduated from Fayetteville State University back in 2010 with a bachelor's in psychology. I continued to get my master's at the University of the Rockies and received my master's in general psychology back in 2012. And then I stumbled across the field of ABA, which is my love now. And I went and got some more education and became a board certified behavior analyst. So that's where I am today. I'm a BCBA. That's what I do every day. And does anyone here know what ABA is?
Applied behavior or something.
There you go. And this kind of brings me to my point. So ABA is a fairly new field. It's applied behavior analysis. It is a really amazing field because it's not only changed the lives of the clients that I work with every day, but it has changed my personal life because learning these concepts about behavior has taught me a lot on how to navigate relationships and just in general how behavior works. So simply put, behavior is the science, well, ABA is the science of behavior. And what we do in this field is we make social significant change by manipulating the environment and providing positive reinforcement mostly, although we do use punishment, but not so much. So what we do is we change maladaptive behaviors into functional social significant change behaviors. And we predominantly work with special needs and the autism population, although this can work for each and every one of you. So I really, really love this field. I have been given opportunities to change families' lives every day, and it's very fulfilling. I wish that everybody would know what ABA is so that we can all apply it in our lives, because it shifts your mindset. So the problem is that, like I stated, ABA is not very well known. So as parents, receive news that their children are diagnosed with autism, they're scrambling, they're looking for services, and they stumble upon ABA, never hearing about it, not knowing what it is. They're just, they hear that it's something that is used for autism, and they feel like this is the route to go. So that's what happens. They sign up for ABA. Story time. So I would like to share a story of why I'm here today and what kind of inspired me to even do this. I want to say 3 years ago, because I've been in this field for nearly 5 years. About 3 years ago, I met a family, and as always, we come in the home, and because most of our services are in the home. We got in the home, we met the mom, and we met the client, the potential client, and we were very, as always, very professional, explaining why we're here, what we're here to do to help her child overcome some of those barriers. And I could immediately tell that the mom was very tense, very scared, very hesitant. I could see it all over her face, her demeanor. She didn't feel comfortable having strangers come in her home, but in her mind, she felt this is what needed to happen for her child to be able to overcome some of those deficiencies. So as we're sitting there, I'm introducing myself and I'm explaining why we're here. I could clearly see that she was retaining some of it, but not really. She was just going through a lot. She just found out her child has been diagnosed. So it was a lot going on with her, and I understood that. After that, we came back the next day, I want to say, and we started the pairing process, which that is just bonding with the client, getting to know the client, knowing who they are, what their reinforcers are. That's just the process we do in the beginning. So that's not too bad. We were hanging out with our client. That specific client did not even want you in his space. So just me getting in his space was a problem for him, and that in itself was a challenge. So our pairing process took a while. After about 2 weeks, we started placing simple demands on the client. Because in order for behavior to change, you have to push out of your comfort zone. You have to present demands so that you're able to overcome your barriers. That's what we do. So as we're doing this, I knew to expect behaviors. And I told Mom, there are going to be behaviors. There's going to be challenges. And so, although she heard me, again, she was in her emotional state of what's going on. People are in my home. They're pushing my child. Behaviors, everything was just jumbled up in her mind. So I stepped out of the room as her son was going through these behaviors. And I kind of comforted her, and I told her, this is part of the process. It's completely normal. Everything's going to be fine. And she was crying. She was literally crying in tears. To me, I'm a stranger in her home, and it just touched my heart because I realized that I know what I'm doing. I know why he's having these behaviors, but she was really going through it. She had a lot of stress at the time, and it was just really affecting her. And so for that reason, I came up with this solution. I am creating a course that is designed to help parents of newly diagnosed children with autism navigate what ABA is, because ABA is a very, very intense program. Some of these behaviors we see are behaviors the parents haven't even seen because we're in there to push them. We're in there to get them over these humps and get them to functional skills so they can continue to live their life, more effectively. And so I would like to design a course, I am designing a course that provides content that helps parents be informed of what ABA is, what ABA looks like, what the process is like. It'll be all in one cluster so they can just go to it and they can be empowered. They can feel confident about receiving these services, or they can say, maybe my mind isn't ready for this service. Maybe I need to wait a little bit because after reading how intense it is, or, but also understanding the concepts and not having to learn as your child is having the behavior. Knowing this, you can mentally prepare. You can come in and say, come in, let's do this. I'm ready. I'm ready for this challenge. I want to see my child grow. And that's what this course would do for them. It would empower them to feel good about this decision. And I would also provide online opportunities like webinars where they're able to interact with me as a professional and ask questions that they may have about what ABA is, just to kind of ease some of that stress and alleviate some of that stress. So when they decide to pursue this service, they feel good and they're ready to help their child progress instead of worrying about their mental state and overcoming the stress that they're dealing with. So that's pretty much what I'm here to present, is that I would like your support in, promoting that. I don't know if you know someone with autism or you have, a family member or people that receive ABA. I don't know. So I just wanted to share this information with you all and give you an idea of what ABA is. I am always here to answer any questions, and I'm excited about this because I see it every day of how ABA, because that's my field, affects parents, new parents, because the stress and the process is very intense. And sometimes if you knew why it's going on, it would help so much more. And you can research it, you can Google it, but to have it all in one cluster and it's just a go-to thing, I think would definitely help a lot more and be more effective in alleviating some of those stressors. Thank you guys again. I appreciate the opportunity.
Questions?
Question, yes. What is an example of a behavior that you were able to change? A child banging their head on the wall?
Yes.
A temper tantrum?
Yes.
Give us an example.
We work with those behaviors every day. So what we do is we come in and we do an assessment, and everybody in this room has behaviors. You picked up your drink, that was a behavior, because you were thirsty. So as a child with autism, you may not understand or you may not pick up on the functional ways of getting things done the way you want to. So you may bang your head because in the past that gave you attention. Or you may bang your head or have a tantrum because that is the only way you know how to express yourself. So what we do is we come in, we figure out, well, why is this behavior occurring? Is it attention driven? Is it you didn't get what you want? Is it a demand that was placed? And then what we do is teach them an alternative way, a more effective, functional way to get access to the same things that they were getting access to through those behaviors. And a lot of times parents inadvertently reinforce those behaviors. Your child is having a tantrum. What's wrong, baby? Especially with autism, you're going to be more, nurturing, and you're like, what's wrong? And so that's attention. So your child is kind of learning, oh, when I do this and flip out and bang my head, my mom comes running to me. Instead of learning how to say, Mom, I need you, or, simply tapping them, they just don't pick up on those simple things that we kind of take for granted. So that's what we do. We help them learn those functional skills and shift the behaviors from maladaptive to functional behaviors. That's ABA in a nutshell.
So I can change one of the answers on the sheet. What are the challenges to your business?
One of the biggest challenges is to get people on board. Because when I say it's ABA, they're like, okay, what is, yeah. And then I kind of explain it, but to really show and prove, it's like we have to show it first before they're on board. And that's a challenge because I can't just sit here and talk to you and you believe everything I'm saying. I have to actually show you, which I can. But in order to get you in to see what I'm talking about, that's the challenge. Yeah.
How much is the cost of the service?
I'm working on all the costs, but I'm thinking about putting a package together, and they can choose from, I'll probably have a set of concepts. They'll choose whichever one they need or want. It can be a total package for maybe $200, or if they just want, that would be the whole package with the live webinar, question and answer from a professional. If they just want one little class, that might just be $35. So it really depends on what they want out of the service.
That's health insurance?
Do they cover that?
Support them?
Something I need to research.
There's government funding that you can get to help you with that. You need to look into that.
Okay. That's something I'll look into.
How do you go about identifying your target market? How do you encounter your customer?
Well, being that I'm in the field, it's kind of easy to see what the problem is, but I guess asking them, I'm targeting newly diagnosed autism, so the parents of newly diagnosed children, those are my target population. So I'll probably surround myself with people that are new, with the pediatricians that are diagnosing. I'll try to connect with those parents. So that is the target population.
Have you thought about going to any of the local organizations like the owner or any of the foundations in town?
Yes, that's my next step. And I started with Mr. Bragg, so I'm still fairly new in the process. So, I'm looking into all of that as well.
May I suggest another organization you might want to connect with? It's called the Community Blueprint Foundation. It meets every second Wednesday. Meets today. It's an organization of all of the associations and businesses that support the military community. And many of them, when they do their presentations, talk about not central to their support, but the things that you're talking about, family support, and those kinds of activities. So if you would go and network with them, you would probably find a lot of customers that are in need of your help.
Thank you. I will definitely check that.
One more question.
My and you know this, LeAsia, but this is as much for the benefit of the audience. My 11-year-old is nonverbal autistic. He's been in ABA for about 9 years, and it's an amazing program. For client sourcing strategies, we got enrolled in the ABA Adidas, and I was on active duty. TRICARE platform. How well plugged in are you to the social networks, particularly for the young mothers who may be resistant? Because my wife runs the daycare for our church, and she's a teacher. We see kids that are clearly on the spectrum, and parents, especially young parents, that are inexperienced with this sophisticated subject, are very resistant. Right, the idea that kids can make it.
Yeah.
Very resistant.
Even teachers.
Very resistant. They're like, no, he's not autistic, except that the idea is horrifying. How are you going to communicate to them in such a way that they'll be more receptive to the needs of the child rather than
Dealing with a label rather than,
Right.
they don't want to deal with the label, they want to deal with the issue.
Right. And that's why in the beginning I did say that ABA is for everyone, and it's identified. Unfortunately, it's clustered with autism, but I would just inform them that ABA is something that we all do, and I would explain kind of what I explained to you just in more detail, and let them know that it's not about the label. It's about the deficiency in the behaviors that you want to see flourish. So that's what I would tell them.
Just to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, I used to work kind of in this field, but on the business side of it. A trend that I noticed was that with mothers, especially new mothers, the ones that knew and were more aware, were more empowered with what their child was diagnosed with, and they knew more about it, they were more receptive to what their caregivers had to say. They were more receptive to treatments and to options. So the more knowledge that you empower them with at the beginning, if you sit them down and say, this is what we're going to do, versus on the back end, and they're seeing the kickback, and they're seeing the drawbacks. And maybe if you sit them down at the beginning and say, this is our game plan, this is, you may see some kickback, you may see some outbursts, empower them at the beginning, you'll have a better plan.
Right, and that's why I was inspired, because I say it in the beginning of me meeting them, but at that point it's kind of late because they're just getting started a week later. I like for them to have that time to mentally process if this is something they really want to do. So yeah, that definitely makes sense.
One more question. What can this community do to help you?
To be honest, I would just ask that you all spread the word. If you know a parent that has a child that's newly diagnosed, refer them back to me so that I can start, getting the information out and making sure that they're all set and that they want to pursue ABA. Because ABA may not be for everyone at any time. So just let those people know, spread the word, and that's really all I can ask right now.
And she has cards that she's...
Yes, I do have business cards if you'd like.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the opportunity.